How's it going, guys? This is Avollon, and welcome back to the second part of the world tour of our new world, which isn't actually new. So we're gonna immediately come down here and show you guys my underneath project. So this leads down into a underground cave, which is fully decorated and has grass as the floor, which is one of the main things I wanted to do. Watching Etho's Let's Play, he used grass in his, man cave, I think he calls it. It's been a while since I've seen his episodes, so forgive me if I'm mistaken. But his is a lot more structured and built up with wood and everything. I wanted mine to feel more like grass. Grass. Feel more like a natural cave. So we've got a whole bunch of different projects gathered around here. The first thing I want to show you is, we got a button here. If we press that, it'll open up a secret passage, but if we click on this redstone, it sends a quick pulse to a piston, which leads through another little cave, which leads right into a storage room, which I told you guys at the some point last episode that there was another way that I could get in my storage room. Since I was doing a lot of stuff in the underneath project, which is what I call this, I figured it was a pretty good idea to include a secret passage. Once this redstone deactivates, that will get another signal update because there's an observer behind it. Here we got a tileable enchantment table, classic design from Tango. I think that was made in like 1.8, so we updated that. We have the one in our house, but in case we need to do Pacific level enchantments, we got that. We got our nano farm, which I don't even think works anymore, so I gotta revamp that again. Over here we've got our little library where we have a cartography table and a book with a whole bunch of different ideas that I want to do. So this is where I can have an idea. Instead of writing it down in real life, I'll lose that paper somewhere. I've got 10,000 different books and notebooks that I've written that stuff down on. So this is where I can kind of just leave some stuff and eventually come back to it and be like, oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to do this, a better cactus farm or a better sugarcane farm, a hall of mobs, and in the underneath. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. We've got some map stuff here that we can use the cartography table for. Over here, you can notice the grass color changed because we're actually in the swamp now. We got an aquarium in the middle here, so a whole bunch of coral and a whole bunch of animals, fish, and whatnot. This actually did get hit by that 1.14 entity disappearing bug, so half of the fish in there probably are non-existent anymore, but we still have enough that, it feels lively enough. Got some squid in there too. We got our smithing section here, which houses our smokers, blast furnaces, grindstones, and stone cutters. Even though we have those somewhere else, it just kind of feels like a smithing workstation. We'll put the smithing table in here too somewhere, but I don't actually use this area all too often. I just kind of built a little section for all the new unique workstations from 1.14. Here we get our vine farm, which just grows vines. Not the most efficient and practical design, but I don't use vines all too often, and I don't use mossy variants all too often, so, it supplies me with what I need. Another view from inside the aquarium, which is kind of multi-leveled. I mean, there's some pufferfish in there. I might eventually put more fish in here, eventually, once I find some more. But yeah, one of the things I wanted to do was an aquarium, and the underneath was just starting out when 1.13 came around, so an aquarium in the middle of my cave system here felt pretty good. Over here we got a flower. If you notice, there's item frames above all these different projects to signify what's in the room, or in this case down this other part of the cave. We've got our snow golem farm here. It makes snowballs. We got two different shovels that are, I think, just have unbreaking and some sort of efficiency on them. You just, break the snow. Instantly comes back, and, you get snow. Oh, it actually gets snow layers. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day. Mind the scary fox noises. Down here we've got our flower farms, which I actually never got around to building in Avollon's world. But these designs just... well, that one doesn't have any bone meal, so let me come over here. These designs just... yeah, really loud, but they'll just grow with flowers instantly, and then give you all the different flower types. So we got blue orchids and all of these. So you could get blue dye, yellow dye, gray dye. We can't actually get white dye, but we have a skeleton farm somewhere. I'll show you guys later that we get bone meal from, that we just make the white dye. Coming up here, we've got our little banner making room. So we've got all the different dyes, the looms, all the different patterns, except I'm missing the globe one. I have to get that from a cartographer? No. Whichever one uses the loom. I don't know which one uses the loom, but this is where we make different banners. One of the things I started to do was make specific banners for different projects. So you've seen this banner before. This is actually my centralized banner. It's like a dragon or something. That's what's on my shield, and that actually doesn't link up anymore. Cool. This is the my village banner, and it's called whiteridge, so it's got white, you know. It just looks cool, I guess. And this, I keep a copy of each banner here, and then I use them where I need to. Over here we've got the kelp storage room, which I actually really like how this room looks, because it's working with diagonals and everything. So all these chests here get filled up with dried kelp, and as you can see, they're probably all filled up. This uses the exact same kelp farm design I used in Avollon's world, just on a much larger scale. If we press this button here, it dispenses water, so essentially all I have to do is break these chests, all of the dried kelp will flow down to the bottom, and then I can craft up the dried kelp into kelp blocks, which I don't have any here, making it super easy to just essentially clear the farm, because it's super efficient. And yeah, it definitely produces more kelp than I will ever need. If we come down here, we can actually see the kelp farm. Again, mind that noise. There is an endermite somewhere in the vicinity over here. I was down there through an ender pearl and an endermite spawned, so I kept him down there, and he's somewhere down there. But I think it was cool how the redstone's exposed here. And you can kind of see, like, I decorated the area making it look like it was a cave. So I find that really cool looking. And that's the furnace ray that I was talking about earlier. We've got another cave-like system. I don't think this kelp farm is the full design either, and it's producing more kelp than I will ever need. If we come over here, we've got a little sweet berry nano farm, which I might have a use for sweet berries in the near future, so those might come in handy. Here we got foxes. I went around when 1.14 first came out and found some foxes. I found regular ones, I found the snowy variants, and I saved them, and then at some point in my hiatus, when I was playing on this world, I came over here and brought them all over. We don't actually need that torch. I don't know why I was standing there, but I'll put it back. So if we need foxes for an automatic sweet berry farm, which we might build at some point, you can come in here, breed them, and take foxes as we need them. But they make some pretty weird sounds. If you guys haven't ever heard them, they like scream every now and then, which is kind of creepy. And the kelp farm just went off. If we come over here, again, I have a resource. There's a slime somewhere nearby. I don't know where. I didn't know that was a slime chunk. So there's a slime somewhere nearby. That wasn't intentional. But I have a resource pack that changes my slime color, the red. It was on Vanilla Tweaks and I was messing around with it. So this was all green at some point, and I was using terracotta and slime blocks for because I have a lot of slime blocks. This is a instant repair station, so there's so many items that can get smelted, and then you just pull the last one out, and it gives you a whole bunch of XP, since furnaces track XP values now, and I have like 20 stacks for 256 XP, and over here we've got 20 stacks, 12 stacks, 10 stacks. It did say 12, no, it said 10. So I did use these, and I just never restocked them because we were using cactus, and as you can see, we've got a lot of different green dye over here. So immediately coming up here, sorry about the slime, we've got our bamboo farm. And what a combination of blocks, must I say. Dried kelp, melon, bamboo, and coral blocks. What a combo. But I had a lot of these blocks in bulk, and I was like, what can I do with them? I'm going to give myself a challenge. So this uses the same design as the sugarcane farm, except it's not completely lossless because the bamboo is actually a hitbox that you can't walk through like sugarcane. So you can notice that sometimes it gets stuck, but yeah, that's not a problem. We've got bamboo for days, and yeah, so we never need bamboo. and I really like how this room looks. So if we come out over here, the underneath is all that. That's all the underneath so far. Like I said, I do have plans to expand it in the future, and it comes out over here. So yeah, pretty fancy stuff. Well, if we come over here, we can see the desert village that I've been working on over the time frame of this entire world. Because if you see, like, this main core section of houses here was built up like way long ago, and then this section here was built up in like maybe 1.14 or 1.13. I started really going ham on this project because I wanted to make a desert village, and this is actually Solstice. If you guys remember in the early episodes of Avollon's World, I had mentioned wanting to make a desert village, and yeah, this is the inspiration behind that. So eventually, what I'll do is this entire like desert section here will be a entire desert city, essentially. We got a giant wheat field over here because I'm trying to set up the farms in the process. This is one of the last things I was working on before I started Avollon's World again, is setting up the farms for the city here. And yeah, these farms just didn't seem like they would cut it for a city of this size. So I built this and just filled in an entire little plateau here. Nothing but wheat seeds because we actually have wheat seeds somewhere. Forget where I got them. I know we have the wheat farm. I don't know where I was getting the seeds from. Because I'm pretty sure I'm just getting rid of them. I don't know. I can hook that up to a composter too. Got a chicken head here. This is actually where my chicken farm is. I don't even know if we have chickens in there anymore, to be honest. Over here we've got all of my parrots. This is the parrot house, and we use the glazed terracotta as the floor. Parrots are so annoying. These sit. You used to sit. You used to be able to click on them and they would immediately go to the ground. Now they don't. I don't know why. It's annoying. All these houses don't have any sort of significant interior. They're just all purely aesthetic builds. One little side note I want to talk about is, I forgot to mention in the last episode, I'm updating the world seed down below. So in episodes 1 through 26, the world seed will be different from here on out, because it's two separate worlds. If you guys actually load this world up in 1.14, 1.15, and I think even 1.13, there's no witch hut over here, and there's actually a pillager outpost right where this tower is. So this area is actually kind of different in the newer versions of the game. This was generated in 1.10, so that pillager outpost didn't exist, and the witch farm, I guess. I don't know what made the witch farm not... the witch hut not spawn in newer versions, but just wanted to throw that out there. I think we actually just seen the pistons extend there. If I watched that back, I think I seen the flashing torches. Over here we've just got my storage hut. One of the things I wanted to use is glazed terracotta, because I didn't use it all out too often for the floors. Over here we've got my world border mementos. These are all kind of like memento things. You can see found in village, found in a chest. I went and ventured out to the world border. These are all the different things I used to get to it. And here we actually found a enchanted apple in a temple right next to it, which I thought was pretty cool. Went around with iron and went to the world border. I think I flew all the way there and I killed myself, or died even. So yeah, we did that. Maybe we'll do that again one day. Here we got another portal, more terracotta, and another house here, which I think originally I was going to use for villagers, but now I'm putting them somewhere else, so that one's going to remain empty. We've got a little chorus flower. These are chorus flowers, right? Yeah, chorus flower. Little thing where we can get the, the little buds so we can make a chorus fruit farm, which I have yet to do. We've got more huts here, which these ones over here, like this tower section here and all this up here, is supposed to be like guard barracks and whatnot, hence why they're very small and very bland in comparison to some of the other buildings I am going to build later on, which will be more future episodes. I'm going to use a lot of the vanilla desert structures. Here we got more horse stables, really giant stables to be honest, but I like how it feels and just looks. I like working with sandstone in this way, so That is the entirety of Solstice, and that is the entirety of my main base area here. Now the one thing I will show you guys next is, if we come over here, there's an old village, and this is actually my spawn chunks. So, again, if you load this world up now, the spawn is like somewhere over here for some reason. It switched the spawn, but these are some old school iron farms back when they worked. And this is like an old school little area where there's a bunch of iron. You know, not a whole bunch, but I say not a whole bunch. It's like 5 double chests. But in comparison to what the Iron Phoenix produces, yeah, it's not a lot. So none of the villagers here are actually safe. I never fortified this village when I first started. I just kind of raided it and left, and because it was in the spawn chunks, yeah, all the doors are gone. They're all dead. So, yeah, you can see my area from over here. There's the Penny's Monument. I have to show you guys yet before we continue. But if we come over here, there's a temple, which I first raided. But if we come over here, there's this nice little cave, which, again, for some reason, I loaded this world up in a newer version. This cave here doesn't exist. I don't know what changed with natural generation, but this was where I first settled down and went down to mine for diamonds. But I actually still have some of my stuff in this chest, which I left here. So a nice little, first day memento there. Then if we come up here, that is the spawn chunks, and if you come over here, you can see some kelp, which you wouldn't think would be a thing if I was using this world in 1.10. But what I actually did is I trimmed a lot of my excess chunks from this world, so I wouldn't have to travel really far. Since oceans are beautiful, I didn't want blank, boring 1.12 oceans, which this is all I have left of a 1.12 ocean. You can see the hard border here, which kind of blends together smoothly. Boring ocean, amazing ocean. Fancy stuff, right? So, you can see where all the chunks differ and whatnot. So we still have some old 1.12 oceans, but most of the world is in 1.13 and above terrain. Here we've got where I've been mining out sand. Don't know why it's so close, but yeah, whatever. It works, it functions. Right next to spawn, too. Don't know what made me think that was a good idea. But hey, whatever, right? So we'll come over here. I am using Flight Duration 1 rockets. I started using Flight Duration 2 in Avollon's world. You can actually see the maps are loading in. This is Penny's Monument right here. So a nice little Penny, and this is actually Penny. She, April 5th. Man, it's been a year. And I didn't even remember that. Okay, that's a little sad. Anyway, not to change the mood or anything, this is Penny. The colors aren't exact because there's not the right number of blocks to get the exact color that you need, but I always like this one too. The cat is right there, but she's on a blanket with the picture of my dog, which I found funny. You need rockets. Get some rockets here. I am going to go ahead and make my way to some of the outskirt locations on Avollon's world here. We can actually fly together through the mesa biome, and I can show you guys Avollon's village, because it's right on the outskirt of the mesa. There's a handful of other projects, the nether and the end included. One thing I am uncertain about is what I'm doing with the nether come the nether update. I'm still debating whether or not I want to prune everything and just delete the entire dimension. It was an easier decision to make in the old Avollon's world, which is what I'm gonna have to start getting used to calling it now, because I had built nothing in it yet. Where this one, I have a full-blown nether hub and a gold farm and everything else built up in that area. Another zombie villager, dude. Over here is Avollon's village, and is in a jungle. So, ow, okay, that didn't work. So we cleared out this entire terrain. We cut down some trees, burned down some area, and whatnot. So you can see this entire section used to be nothing but jungle. And I haven't done much in this area. I have... Okay, hi creeper. How you doing? Get wrecked. So I have this giant building here, which I never... Ow? Okay, you died by fire. because I don't have thorns. And I have an arrow in... Where is that arrow? It's in my neck. I shouldn't be able to walk right now, let alone speak. But I have a lot of projects planned for this area. I really like the lush green of the jungle, so I definitely wanted to make use... Okay, you died by fire. Because I don't have thorns. And I have an arrow here, so eventually we'll come over here and do some projects. I never finished this main structure before I was interrupted, like I was saying. And there's actually like a whole underneath section here too. I need to make like a storage room. And since part of the lore behind this world now, so you guys kind of seen it in the end of the episode 26, not last episode. I'm recording this all in one session, so it's all like a big blur to me. There's going to be a lot of lore thrown into this world with kingdoms and kings and queens and whatnot. So this is Avollon Casella, which is the Dragon Queen's sister. This is her like little village. One thing. I really can't speak. And then, oh look, it's a rabbit. And he likes me because I have golden carrots. And my elytra is almost broken. Good thing I noticed that. So one other thing I want to show you before we go and head off. The other elytra is almost broken too. Awesome. Good thing the rest of the stuff is in the nether. Half of my trees are just corrupted like that. I don't know why. If we start flying, you'll just see random trees like that one where they're just cut in half. I don't know why, but I find it funny. They're just missing parts of the trees. So yeah, I'm gonna make my way over to some of the other various projects. We'll go over the nether in the end in another episode, but I'll be back once I got to the... Alright, so here we got a coral farm, which I can use to make all the different types of fans and two coral fans and coral. Yeah, that's all it's called. And then I installed a data pack, which allows me to use the coral fans and whatnot to actually make the blocks, so I didn't have to destroy the coral reef. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We're in the coral reef. I wanted to make use of, you know, the surrounding terrain, and that is literally all that is here, is the coral farm, because that's the only thing that I've built over in here. Really close by, if we come in the nether, we have a really long tunnel. Sorry if you hear my space bar, but I had to use ice paths to get down here super quickly. This is my trident farm, which I built, which isn't actually too hard of a farm to make. Essentially what it does, and it should still function pretty good. And so we got a trident here, a bunch of gold, rotten flesh, nautilus shells, which will be a good way to get those, now that you can't get them with AFK fish farms. We're going to remove these glass blocks, and we can come over here and show you guys the trident farm tower. So we got tridents on each side there, which I thought were pretty cool. But all essentially they do is there's this big open area here. I don't know why that water is glitched out. But we have a giant open area where drowns can spawn, and then there's a villager down there. They get attracted to this dude, which I can actually show you guys down here. He's right here. They get attracted to him. They'll shoot up the water streams, and I should still, yep, be able to fly. And then they go right up top. I think babies are good too. I don't have to worry about them. I don't really know. I haven't used this thing in a while. I don't really have a purpose to, really, because I have tridents. I think I have Riptide and a channeling one, so there's not a big demand for tridents, but they'll come up here. Babies can't get out, so we're good there. And good way to get nautilus shells, a little bit of gold, and some rotten flesh. So I'm going to make my way to the next project, and I'll meet you guys. Alright, so I decided to switch over to spectator mode here to show you guys the nether. That's the coral farm portal. Down there's the trident farm portal. Tunnels aren't too elaborate because they were really, really long and I just needed them to be simple. So if we come down here, bunch of lava, bunch of little hidden lava sources. We have the main tunnel addition here. This portal right here leads to Avollon's village, which you can kind of tell with the jungle and granite. So one of the things I'd like to do is kind of make the tunnel that is leading significant towards like what materials are used to where it's going, if that made any sense whatsoever. So this one down here, I believe, leads to a nether fortress which got reset because I deleted the chunks. So there is a nether fortress down here which we might make use of if we go ahead and keep an old nether, if we don't update it, because there is a double crossroad here and I need to make a wither skeleton farm with wither roses. So yeah, I deleted those chunks. I forget why or how I did it. Here is the mesa portal that leads to the mesa. You guys didn't see that. This one leads to the spawn chunks. That one leads to the desert. Never got around to decorating that tunnel, which I should do. This is my main tunnel design. This is like the bulk of what the tunnels look like. And then coming down here, you know, it has different signs, like that leads to Avollon's village. This leads to the mesa. It's labeled all accordingly. Here is the main nether hub. Nice and small, nice and simple. Use maps that are all grayed out from the end for a nice little decoration. Get rid of the obsidian. We've got a little end cap unit here for storage, and then over here is the portal that just leads over the solstice, which is actually labeled solstice. So I changed that. Over here is a portal that leads to my spider farm, and up here is my wither killing chamber. I built this before the bedrock formations were changed, and yeah, I still have some wither skeleton skulls up here, so I might make use of those just to finish up a beacon grid, depending on how long the another update takes to come out. Yep. Over here we've got my portal to the North Island, which is actually what it's called. This leads to my skeleton farm, which isn't anything too fancy. I'll show you guys that at some other point in time. This leads to whiteridge, which will head down that tunnel eventually. It's all the way down there. And then there's a random tunnel that leads into there. You can see down here we've got a pretty epic scaled project here, which is my blaze farm, which you can see there's different tunnels, and there's another fortress here actually. So what I have a lot of plans thrown up in the air with the nether and revolving around 1.16. I don't actually know if there's a double crossroad in this nether fortress, but I was thinking it'd be cool if we would make this our nether, our wither skeleton farm is what I'm trying to say. But I don't think there's double crossroads, so that actually won't work. But yeah, this thing's actually pretty epic. Whole bunch of lava. This took a lot of time. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to reset the nether, but then I want to reset it. Apparently, I've never visited it either. My advancements keep resetting on this world. And then again, I did change my name from the last time I was on here a while ago, so all my advancements might be all messed up. But yeah, that's just a blaze spawner. Uses their pathfinding to get over there, which is pretty cool. So then if we come down here, this leads off, which I won't go all the way down. You can see the portal, which there's actually another, or is that just the cave? Never mind, I'm coming all the way down here. I don't know what, was that just mining? Where does that go? See, this is why I like just exploring, because I've done a whole bunch of stuff in this world that you just find all these little things and they bring back memories. I'm pretty sure this leads to an ice spikes. Oh, I know where that goes. This leads to the Ice Spikes holiday area, which I'll show you guys at some point in the near future. This leads to a portal that I built to get my foxes back, and cats and all that. That's where it is. Ooh. 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 I did not notice this. Look at this. It is a dual blaze spawner in line with each other. That is cool. If there wasn't another update, I definitely would make use of that, but there's another update, so we'll probably reset the nether at this point. Coming back down the long tunnel, which I've slowly been hollowing out, I eventually plan on making a minecart track leading down that way, because it is the holiday area, so we will need to come over there. If you look over here, I fought a wither here and died a couple times to it. I have no idea. I think I was trying to spawn it in the bedrock and failed. I also seen this magma cube over here. Don't despawn. It's from the gold farm. We'll get up there eventually. And then down here is the end portal, which you can actually see the original location when it was down here, back when I didn't have my nether hub. There's the tunnels are still actually down here of where I first got my portal, which I think, yeah, is like right around here. And I built out, and you know, everything fancy, which again is one of my favorite things to do, is just kind of visit all portions, like What is this? I don't know what this is. Oh, I know what this is. This was me messing with trying to get spawn chunks to stay loaded. Thought I had to put it down here, though. Thought I did have one down here at some point. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But yeah, I was trying to get the spawn chunks to stay loaded because they wouldn't stay loaded. So that's there. Just randomly. Here is our gold farm, which isn't a XP version, which is one of the reasons why I kind of want to reset the nether and make an XP version. The zombie pigmen get attracted to these turtle eggs, and I can actually simulate that for you real quick if I come over here and switch back into survival mode here. The zombie pigmen should start spawning, and you can see they instantly get aggroed onto the eggs because they want to stomp on them because they're meanie faces, and they fall to their death. At no point are they mad at me. It is just a constant fountain of zombie pigmen falling. So yeah, it's actually really, really funny. And if I go down there, which we can show you, I like how they just fall. It's just a constant freaking thing of pigmen falling. Look at that. I love that sight. Occasionally you get some that fall down on a chicken, which is pretty funny. But you've seen the magma cube somewhere, wherever he is, over there. They like to fall off, and if they're a larger one, they just, you know, stay around. But we have some shulker box loaders here, which is like one of the only times I've ever used shulker box loaders. So much rotten flesh. These are a whole bunch of old shulker boxes that are used in the storage system, so they've got a whole bunch of different names on them. Look at all these gold nuggets. These all are filled to the brim with gold nuggets. Crazy stuff there. Lots of gold, lots of gold. And then we actually can get up through here. So let me switch back into spectator mode. We can get up right there. So that is the entirety of the nether. What we're going to do now is come down over to Whiteridge, which is one of the last projects that we have to look at. I'll probably switch back into spectator mode just in case if it is nighttime. Just because I have yet to light up this area. It's not nighttime, but I'll show you guys this from an aerial perspective. Anyway, so this is a 1.14 village, which is actually not too far away from my base. As you can tell, the nether trip wasn't exactly that long. And all these houses weren't actually here. A lot of them weren't. The ones outside the wall were here, but they're outside the wall right next to the mountain. One thing I gotta do is figure out where raiders spawn if a raid were to be triggered, because eventually, like I said, I have an idea for sweet berries to line them on the insides of the walls there, right next to the polished diorite. And so that way, if all the raiders spawn on the outside of the walls, I can just kind of have an infinite wave of raids going and never have to worry about my villagers getting wrecked because they can't defend themselves. There are 3 golems around the place here, and one of them is badly damaged. But I've been slowly building up all the different profession houses and whatnot. So that has been my main goal, to kind of, one, populate the village, just kind of have an infinite wave of raids going and never have to worry about my villagers getting wrecked because they can't defend themselves. There are 3 golems around the place here, and one of them is badly damaged. But I've been slowly building up all the different profession houses and whatnot. So that has been my main goal, to kind of, one, populate the village, just kind of have an infinite, kind of, you know, breed some villagers to get the population of the village up. And then if they do die, I can, you know, put more villagers out there. I do have to light up the area, and you can see there's some empty spaces. I plan on actually making a giant house for me, personally, here. So I still have to do that. If we come over here, though, this mountain looks awesome, by the way. And that's old mountain generation. We didn't see the new one yet, but that'll get changed. There's a floating island over here. There's another village over here, just chilling. Another 1.14 village. I think, yeah, there's still villagers over here, too, and some of the other houses and whatnot that I haven't built yet. So eventually I might come steal some of these villages and some villages, yeah, villagers. There's a fox sleeping under the tree. So that is Whiteridge. That is the name of it because it uses diorite for the walls. Very basic wall design, but it works and it looks very complex. And underneath each one of these little oak little cap units here is a bell, because the intention is to do a raid here eventually. Like I said, I gotta figure out where the raiders spawn, because if they spawn in the walls, we're gonna have some problems. If they spawn on the outsides, they can't get in, which is where the sweet berries come in. But then again, I don't know if ravagers can destroy sweet berry bushes, so we gotta figure that out. I am going to make my way to the end, and I will meet you guys over there. Before that, since I showed you guys the nether in the last clip, let me know down in the comment section below, do you guys think I should reset the nether when 1.16 comes out? Because it looks really cool, and I would love to have the new terrain right there, have a netherite mine right at my base. Or do you think I should keep my old nether and have a little bit of old Minecraft nostalgia for, the old nether? And that's a 1.10 nether and not the 1.13 version where it has like the ravines and stuff going through it. Something, guys, let me know in the comment section below. I'm mixing my words up because I've been talking for like 2 hours now. So I'm going to make my way over to the end now. Alright, so here is the portal room for the end portal. This actually got reset when I updated the 1.13 because I trimmed my chunks. So this entire project I had nothing built here, so I didn't lose anything. And so I made use of some of the stuff here. It was actually funny, a while ago there were still items from when I was digging out the area in the bubble columns here. This is when they were first introduced, so I made use of the bubbles, which you can see in the background. Some of them. Those ones are the only ones that you can see, and those ones, but not that one. So we come through the end here. You can see the Enderman farm, which is a similar design to the one I used last time, but it still uses an Endermite, but uses a 3x3 drop point instead of a 1x3 instead of a 3x3. I haven't fought the dragon too many times on this world either, so this end is still pretty bare. So I have to do that. And one of the things I did bring over was the Wither Rose farm. So if we switch over the spectator mode, it's still in the same general direction. So if you guys remember, if we came out, the portal was like over in this area. It's where the end gateway was. Since I brought over the region file because I couldn't fit the entire thing in a structure block format, we have the Wither Rose farm, which we just fly in the void for a very long time. It looks like we're not flying, but we're actually flying, and you can actually see there's the water. The only problem is, so the Wither Rose farm works. What I'm worried about is when we actually get the end gateway spawned in, is it actually going to spawn me here, or is it going to spawn a new end gateway? The Wither is still the same one. There's actually some fixing up I have to do here, because for some reason he was blowing stuff up. But yeah, this is the same exact Wither Rose farm, entities included. Let's see. Wait, why are you shooting, dude? What are you shooting at? This is the same exact one, and I might have lost like all the sugar boxes of Wither Roses that I had at my base, but we've got a whole bunch here. Now what I gotta figure out what I want to do here, and I need you guys' opinion here. You can see a very hard border along these end islands, which looks like crap. It definitely doesn't look natural. This is the region file coming over from Avollon's world into this one. So, yeah, it's kind of an eyesore. You can clearly tell, like, this is the corner of the region file right here. So, this is actually a end island from Avollon's world, and then everything else is from this world's natural terrain generation. Would you guys be alright if I were to just kind of delete these islands entirely in, like, creative and whatnot, and just get rid of them so it looks more like it merged naturally in terms of the story? Or would you guys rather see me come over here in survival and clear these islands by hand and with TNT and TNT dupers like that? Let me know in the comment section below, because I definitely have to do something over here, because I don't want to look at a flat end island, and just kind of make it look more natural. I think if we do get rid of the island, which eventually at some point I am doing either way, whether it be in creative or survival, versus what you guys think, this will be the only island that will actually be active. So, that is all of the stuff in Avollon's world that I know of. You can actually see my little head. Hi, how's it going? I'm coming back to 0, 0. very, very slowly. There it is. I do have plans for the end, and I do have plans for the nether. So let me know in the comments section down below if you guys think I should clear out the islands, in creative, get rid of them with, commands, or clear them out in survival with TNT, TN dupers, mining it, etc. Let me know what you guys think on that. Let me know if you guys think I should reset the nether or keep the nether. Personally, I'm still up in the arms about it because I have a gold farm and I have stuff built there, but I don't have, all the stuff I would want built in the nether. Like, I could go for a XP version of the gold farm versus a AFK version. But the AFK version is reliable and safe and will always work because it's an intended feature. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. But that is the entirety of this world. One thing I do want to show you is just what it looks like from up above here, from an aerial perspective at night especially. You can see all the different areas that are lit up and everything. It's really amazing. I really like it. I didn't actually show you guys the pandas, but these are actually the same exact pandas from our world. There's the no-name dude. So we have Lloyd and Harry are over here, so they all came over. The only thing I have to do is bring the thing back, because I didn't get that in the structure block format. And if you guys didn't know, if we can actually come down here, I can show you the underneath of the world here, and there's the slime trunk, a giant red slime. And then you can see all the different waterways that are connecting everything together from all the different farms. Over there is the chicken farm. Do we have chickens in it? We've got a chicken. A chicken is powering our chicken farm. It doesn't matter too much. Here we've got our spider farm down here. It's not the most efficient design. Some of them get stuck. Spiders are a pain to work with. Here's our beacon bases down at the bottom of the world. I forgot to mention, at night, they actually changed the beacon color. Or during the day, they changed the beacon color, I think. One of the two, I forget, to be honest. Here you can see our beacon mine and whatnot. This was actually a duping station, which I used to dupe some of those items. Zombies would have a chance of dropping a shulker box twice because it drop and get sucked up immediately, but it still drop. It's confusing entirely. What is... I still use that? I had thought I switched out these designs for a better design, but I guess not. I switched it out for this design. This is the witch farm over here. All the witches drop and the items get dispensed out here or dropped out here and run out here. What line does that come from? That's the wheat farm up there. So yeah, I'm learning all this stuff. Yeah, so that this gets dispensed out. I guess all the seeds get feeded in somewhere else. I don't know where I got the seeds from. But yeah, pretty fancy stuff down here. Everything funnels up. There's the mine, and these iron golems aren't actually seen by slimes at all. They have glass in front of them, so it kind of negates that. All the caves are lit up, and it looks really crazy down here, and you can see all the inner workings of this world and everything. It's pretty cool down here. I want to know, we heard that slime over by here. He must have been like down there. So there must be a slime trunk somewhere close by, because they can spawn in light levels. If you come over here, I can show you guys the skeleton spawner, which is just a simple skeleton spawner. What I find funny is this is my bubble column. This is my first attempt of making a bubble column elevator. So the design isn't the best, but it works. And then I have an AFK version design and a auto killing for an AFK and auto killing are the same thing, where I can kill them or they die automatically by fall damage by moving the half slab there. So yeah, that is everything in Avollon's world. Ooh, there's a fossil over here. I didn't know that. See, the things you find when you're just going around underneath. You never know. So yeah, that is the entirety of this world, the world which we now shall be playing on, and the world I shall be recording on. So yeah, all fancy stuff. Fancy stuff indeed. I have big plans, and since a lot of the, we have a lot of similar projects between Avollon's world and this one, or you know, Avollon's World 1.0 and Avollon's World 2.0, we can call them. There's a lot of similar projects that we did. There's some projects on here, on this world, that we didn't do on the last one, but, you know, they're all projects that have been around for a while. The monument is still going to be done the same way, and I still have the same plans. I still have the same plans for the end dimension and the nether dimension. Except that one's kind of a little up in arms because I'm keeping the nether. Then it's kind of going to throw a wrench in that idea. So, yeah. This is a little bit more built up, which means I can actually do a lot more bigger scale projects now. For, as in Avollon's World, I would have to, you know, set up a whole bunch of infrastructure and do a whole bunch of other stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I've been rambling on for quite some time now. This is probably another long episode, but the tour is done. You guys have seen the nether, you've seen the end, you've seen the overworld, you've seen everything this world has to offer. So next episode, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program, and we'll be back to working on the ocean monument over there, actually getting the farm built up and getting the surrounding area decorated in the following episodes to come. So, if you liked today's episode, make sure to hit that like button. It really gives me some motivational supports and gives me some encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing. It really means a lot to me seeing a like on a video. It really gives me some, you know, really good feelings. It's like, yeah, somebody actually took the time to click that little like button because they enjoyed my content, and that is the entire reason why I'm doing this. If you want to stay up to date on all the latest videos, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below. Make sure you stay up to date on all the latest videos, even though I just said that, because my schedule is still out of whack. And make sure to, you know, click that little bell maybe, get notified. I don't even know if I have a bell. And yeah. So without further ado, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. And I shall see you in the next one. I'm repeating myself too often. I'm tired. I've been talking for like 2 hours now doing this tour. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's the third time I said it. Farewell.